Welcome back everyone to Cross/Game. EV here with another video, and this one is kind of like a pretty important one, I think, to me personally. Off the back of my last video where I did a short unboxing of these games that I bought online, which is my attempt at preserving the physical media, I guess. Maybe investing a little bit as well, just trying to see what will work for the future. If I hold on to these items, maybe they'll be worth something good. Maybe not for me, maybe for my kids, who knows. But in the end of the day, those games are not the items I'm emotionally attached to. The games that I'm pretty much attached to are the ones that I've played. Which brings me to the topic. It's the importance of preserving physical media. And also, I guess, hand in hand is the digital, the way the games are going digitally. You know, they're becoming more streamable and part of subscription packages, and they're basically following what movies and series did, you know, Netflix and everything, and music with Spotify. So I think that the video game industry is following behind it, behind those entertainment industries as well, and I think that it's a sad thing in a way. And I really wish that video game developers would look to retain physical media when it comes to video games. So a couple of points of why it's really important, but I guess one of the first ones is kind of from a commercial perspective, is if you are buying something with your hard-earned money and you no longer have the item in your hands, you know, you no longer hold the item, is that the same? Is it the same as having a video game that you purchase online and then you just have the software, so you have it installed on your PC or your PlayStation or Xbox, whatever, but you don't have the item? You know, one day maybe that PlayStation will break or your PC will break or corrupt and you lose access. Or maybe, just maybe, because the installation software is something that you download from another server elsewhere, maybe that developer decides, you know what, we're not going to give you access to this anymore, and that one-time purchase you made is void all of a sudden. You no longer have the item you purchased. So that's one thing. I feel like that security when you buy software isn't something, because it's not like you're keeping the installation files like when you buy a CD. Like when I bought the last, well, any game on PlayStation, you're keeping the files on the CD, so you have the base game, and that's what I think is where the value is of the item you purchased. Okay, so that's point one. Yeah, the fact that ultimately when you buy something that is just software, you don't physically own anything, and ultimately the control of whether you get to experience or consume that software really comes down to what happens with the developers and the businesses behind who created that software. They could decide to flick the switch and that's it. No more, you can't experience anymore. You can't listen to that song, or you can't play that game or watch that movie anymore because it's been taken away. And I don't like the sound of that personally. It's a very transactional event, and ultimately there's no added value to you as a consumer. To me specifically, I think one of the best memories I have is being hyped for a game and going to the store and giving my money and receiving that gold dust disc, and you know, in a case, and it's all wrapped up, and running home, or even on a bus, or just unwrapping it and reading the manual. I don't know, just it's all part of that experience of playing a video game, and I fear that it might get lost in the coming years, which is a shame. You know, I think nostalgia itself is a feeling that's going to be taken away from our kids and our young ones that are growing now. They're not going to have the same nostalgic feelings, I think, for games. I think at the moment it's still, you know, we're getting a bit of both. We're getting subscription services for video games, we're getting software that you buy and you install, and we also get the physical games as well. So but there are some exceptions already happening, such as Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, and many other, I guess, AAA game developers out there who are deciding to just not print their games on discs anymore. And I think that's sad. I think overall the experience for those games, that Baldur's Gate and Alan Wake have done phenomenally well, don't get me wrong. People are obviously just, they have the game, they've purchased it, and they played it, and that's it. But for people like me, maybe there are others like me out there who really don't think that going digital for the video game industry is a good thing. It takes away that it's part of the experience. I just feel like it takes it away, and ultimately having them control the access to my software that I bought is something I'm not really fond of. There's been so many instances of people where this whole transaction with software doesn't really work. Sony, I think, is a big dead end with that, because when you buy something, if you bought it by mistake and one of your kids goes and plays it, that's it, your money's lost. You can't get a refund, you can't get anything. Not only that, half the time you can't even get a refund in money, you just get credit to spend on something else in the store, and I find that is a big no-no for me already. So anything from that point onwards is already a bad experience when it comes to just not having a physical disc in my hands. The other side of it is exactly the nostalgic side. Like I'm holding here, so this Final Fantasy VII CD has been with me since I was 12. Right, I am 40 now. So yeah, I'm an older guy, going midway through my life, I guess. And I open these CDs and I see what I played. Tens of times I've played this game. Okay, it's my favorite game of all time. That's it. It's the reason why I'm into video games, I guess. Final Fantasy VII. Just seeing things like this around the memory card. Try and beat Final Fantasy without it. I used to love that stuff. I still think it's amazing. The experience of getting Final Fantasy VII the first time, unwrapping it, putting it in the PlayStation, playing it, all the memories since then, those are things that I think are very much attributed to the fact that I still hold this case, because I sometimes spend 5 minutes, I just look up my shelf and I literally experience a portion of my life just in all those games I played. They're all individual experiences. Final Fantasy VII is the one that started it all, so it connects directly to my 13-year-old self, my 12-year-old self, where that was it. It was like my world. Yeah, sure, for some people back in the day, definitely video games were frowned upon. For some people today, it's like, oh, that's really sad. But it is literally what I enjoyed doing, and I still do. I'm still here, talking about video games, playing video games. I love it. It's something I want to pass on to kids, but video games are a method of escaping from the real world, I guess, but also they allow your brain to reset. There's loads of added benefits to playing video games, and there may be others to do with addiction that are not so good, but I guess if you have a balanced life and you're happy in your real life, video games is just added value to your life, I guess. The other case I'm holding here is another Final Fantasy VII, but this is a Japanese copy. This is my cousin who found this on a second-hand shop. But what's important about this copy is I ended up meeting Nobuo Uematsu at one point in my life, the composer of Final Fantasy music, and he signed this little cover for me. Now this I would die for. If my house burnt down, I would cry if this got lost in the fire, because these are the things. These are the okay, I could have got him to sign anything else, but he signed a Japanese copy of Final Fantasy VII, and I love it. It's now ingrained in my bloodstream. That's it. It's just something that is part of me. And again, I don't think I'd be able to have that same experience if I didn't have a physical copy of Final Fantasy VII. In this case, the Japanese version. But it's kind of weird. It's like, I feel like the happiest experience that we have as humans tend to every now and again come full circle. You kind of hit. You're doing anything. You're just at work or whatever, and you see something or you hear something, and that nostalgic feeling just takes you back to when you were a kid, to those happy moments. they're fleeting, you know, they happen so quick, you don't even see them until now you're an adult, you're working your ass off, and now you can only remember going back. But that feeling, that nostalgic feeling, is something that gets lost over time. And the only way I can get a glimpse of that sometimes is by looking at these cases. So it'll be really sad to see when video games go full digital, you know, subscription services and stuff. So I would really think that hopefully we continue as maybe we are now, in a way where you get a bit of both. You can still get your hands on a physical copy of something, but if they decide to, which I think is going to happen, that's how the future works, I guess. They just, less is more. They're going to get rid of all physical media. It's just going to happen. But I will guard these little babies of my life. They are literally a chunk of me, and yeah, I feel, just thinking about it, I feel a bit sad that the video game industry is going that way. But I guess that's it for this video. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that it's great that we're going diskless? You know, no more physical media, just complete software, and no way of actually physically owning something? You know, would you be happy just not having to own a physical piece of media, or would you prefer to have this? You know, this is something. This is a topic of conversation for me. This is, in the end, I managed to make a video out of it. That's how important these things are. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd like to please ask to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It's really important that I grow this channel. It's kind of cathartic in a way to get to talk about these things with just sharing it out into the ether. I kind of feel good doing it, so I'd like to continue doing it, and it'll be nice to see my channel grow slowly with these videos. So please do subscribe to my channel, and yeah, I'd be forever grateful. Thanks a lot again, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.